And hello, everyone, and welcome to Open, the one and only show that opens the Bronx and the rest of the world right to you. I'm your host, Daren, Jaime. Today, we'll update you on what's happening in and around our borough, as well as across New York City. Coming up on our show, we go front and center discussing the newly expanded Medicare savings program and how that can actually help you out. Then, February is American Heart Month, and we'll learn how we can protect our hearts as well as stay healthy. And we'll discuss how one organization is celebrating the legacy of Black and Afro Latinx dancers. We'll introduce you to Ballet Hispanico a little later on in the show. Then afterwards, we'll discuss the current state of the egg industry. More details later in the show. So stay tuned because all this and much more is heading your way. Right now, we're officially open. Hello, everyone. I'm Daren Jaime. We thank you for joining us here on Open. You are now watching the show Open that brings the Bronx to New York City straight to you. We also want to welcome our viewers on Manhattan Neighborhood Network as Open is being broadcast live simultaneously on the MNN channel. Now, you can stay connected to us on all of our social media platforms at BronxNet TV. Well, some things have been going on through the course of the past week. We'll take you through a couple of them with our Bronx updates. We start off with political news. Congressman Adriano Espaillat presents his legislative overview and his legislative victories in his annual State of the District address. Our BronxNet reporter, Chanel Thompson, was there, bringing us the story right now.
Congressman Adriano Espaillat hosted an annual State of the District address at the Forum Columbia University. Espaillat discussed his ongoing efforts to move the district forward, and the topics that were discussed was his 2nd Avenue Subway Phase 2 plan, community project fundings, and much more. I had the opportunity to speak with the congressman about today's event.
Well, this is my State of the District, of course, and I want to give my constituent a report of what we accomplished last year. The Inflation Reduction Act was a very exciting piece of legislation that lowered prescription drugs. It capped insulin at $35 a month for diabetics. It also worked on the environment, the biggest investment in the environment ever in the history of our nation. And for the Bronx, we have the Kingsbridge Armory coming up. I think it's an exciting project. I'm working with Mayor Adams to make sure that potentially we'll bring hundreds, if not thousands, of jobs for the Northwest Bronx. And the 2nd Avenue Subway is another major initiative. It will transport 300,000 New Yorkers, and it will connect Harlem and East Harlem to the rest of the world.
Head coordinator of the event, Director of Social Services for the Northern Manhattan Improvement Corporation, Maria Lazaro, tells us the importance of this meeting.
Well, in terms of making the city better, he has invested a lot of money into community-based organizations that are doing the work on the ground, whether it is focusing on education or mental health. And so bringing those resources to the community is really what's going to help us to recover from COVID and really move forward toward a future where we have communities that are more equitable and that people can live in their communities and thrive.
In attendance were guest speakers like Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Governor Hochul, and Mayor Adams, who showed their appreciation to Congressman Espaillat. But for the Bronx, we had to speak to the host of the event, Honorable Councilmember Azwa Feliz, who tells us what we can look forward to in the near future.
Our plan is to make sure that our city works for everyone, making sure that our schools have tools to prepare our children for the future, making sure that we have youth centers for our children as well, community centers, making sure that public safety continues to improve. We're going the right direction. And just making sure that, this is a city that works for everybody.
For more information on how you can be informed about upcoming events for Congressman Adriano Espaillat, you can visit his website at www.espaillat.house.gov. Reporting for BronxNet, Chanel Thompson.
And thank you, Chanel. We will stay on the political front as Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson held a prayer for peace and unity in honor of Tyre Nichols. Our Bronx Net reporter, Brittany Schuyler Albane, has a story.
Say his name! Tyre Nichols! Say his name! Tyre Nichols!
At Borough Hall, in the Grand Concourse section of the Bronx, Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson held a prayer for peace and unity in honor of Tyre Nichols.
Our message tonight is very simple. Where there is darkness, we want to be light. Where there is hate, let us be love. Where there is confusion, let us be peace.
On January 7th, the 29-year-old was severely beaten by 5 police officers from the Memphis Police Department at a traffic stop. Nichols was left in critical condition and sadly passed 3 days later. Currently, all 5 officers have been brought up on the following charges: second-degree murder, aggravated kidnapping, official misconduct, and official oppression.
Tyre was a father, a brother, a son. He was our brother, our neighbor.
Recently, the Memphis Police Department released the body cam footage depicting the assault, which has sparked outrage all over the nation.
We have seen far too many videos of our people assaulted, brutalized, disrespected, and killed at the hands of police violence, street violence, and gun violence.
Now, here in the Bronx, faith leaders and elected officials are urging Congress to pass the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act, which aims to combat misconduct, excessive force, and racial bias in policing. They hope that this act will put an end to the tragic deaths caused by police violence, because Bronxites fear that one day it will be their family member who was brutalized.
As easy as this mother is mourning her son, it could be us.
Attendees of the vigil hope their message was clear and wish to see change very soon. Reporting for BronxNet, Brittany Schuyler Albane.
And thank you, Brittany. That is all the time we have for our Bronx updates. Of course, we'll keep you updated as the things that's happening in and around our community every week here on Open. But for now, we're going to take a quick break, and Open continues right after this.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
Bro, you gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's a white people thing.
Escúchame, en esta casa, los hombres no lloran.
You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
Thanks for hearing me out, bro. Appreciate it.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how's sketches? Ready? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes, look at that. You didn't turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you have to get it trending. Right, Backpack Kid?
Let's do it.
First, invite your kid to do the vape talk. Let's try this. All right.
Why is he here?
Yeah, I gotta get it trending, honey.
Come on.
To the left. To the right. Let's go.
Oh, honey, can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
I see a lot of your friends vaping.
Visit talkaboutVaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
STEM is everywhere. Like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with sodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker horde.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Most hiring algorithms would scream me out.
Some bosses couldn't see me as a leader.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper. I've been running code as long as I've been able to reach a keyboard.
This is what I do. It's second nature for me, coordinating 100 details at once.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
I sold them on my skills.
You gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
My magic is
analytics and empathy. That's how I'm getting clients. You have to have the confidence in yourself to show up and defy the odds.
I'm more than who I am on paper.
I never got a college degree. And today, I'm the CEO of my own company. People want to tell me I'm one in a million, when actually I'm one of millions. Stars are all around us. It's time for them to shine.
And welcome back to the show. In late 2022, Governor Kathy Hochul announced more New Yorkers will actually be eligible for financial assistance in 2023 through the expanded Medicare Savings Program. Now, the increased income eligibility limits will help older adults and individuals with disabilities actually be able to pay for healthcare costs. And joining me now and sharing more details, we've got the Assistant Vice President, Head of Medicare Markets at Healthfirst, Abby Maitra. And Abby, glad to have you with us. Talk to me a little bit about where we are right now. Obviously, this expanded Medicare Savings Program will be quite beneficial to a lot of people.
Yeah, good to be here, Daren. Thank you for having me. Absolutely. It is a monumental change this year, starting in 2023. Hundreds of thousands of more Medicare beneficiaries, so these are seniors and individuals with disabilities, are going to qualify for the Medicare Savings Program, which is significant and a big deal, as you mentioned. And this program is really critical and vital. It can save a Medicare beneficiary up to $7,000 a year. So super, super important to help get the word out that this change has happened, and many, many more seniors will qualify for the Medicare Savings Program in New York.
So Abby, let's do this. For our viewers who may not be so familiar, let's roll out exactly what is the Medicare Savings Program and how does it work?
Great question. The Medicare Savings Program is a program to help Medicare beneficiaries that are living on a limited or fixed income and it helps to pay for their healthcare costs, essentially. So helps to reduce the burden of paying towards Medicare. So it's very, very important that many more seniors understand this program and the benefits of the program. And there are multiple benefits of the Medicare Savings Program. One is that it helps to pay for your Part B premium. So for our Bronx residents out there, our seniors, individuals with disabilities on Medicare, if you have a Part B premium, that $165 that is taken out of your Social Security check every month in 2023, this program will cover that. So it essentially puts back $2,000 in your pocket a year, which is huge and significant. The other major benefit of the Medicare Savings Program is that when you qualify for the MSP, it automatically enrolls you into full extra help. And this is a federal program that helps to pay for your Part D prescription drugs. So when you qualify for MSP, you're automatically enrolled in full extra help. and it helps to lower your prescription drug costs. You'll have a $0 deductible, $0 coinsurance towards your Part D expenses, which is huge. And that is estimated to save a senior about $5,000 a year, which is significant. Another important benefit is depending on the MSP that you qualify for, you can have cost sharing expenses covered for the Medicare services that you have, which is really important. So essentially helping you move into a plan that is a $0 out-of-pocket expense for you. The other additional benefits of a Medicare savings program are, if you have a late enrollment penalty right now on Part B or Part D, well, having an MSP eliminates that for life. Also, if you don't have Part B from Medicare yet, this program helps you to gain Part B from Medicare. So there's multiple benefits of the Medicare savings program, but as I mentioned, the major ones is it covers that Part B premium, that $165 a month. It helps to lower your prescription drug costs, and it really can help with cost sharing if you qualify for a specific MSP. So overall, as I mentioned, an average of $7,000 in savings a year that can be assumed by enrolling and qualifying for the Medicare savings program.
So we know that these changes are coming to the program. We know a lot of things are available to the actual person that takes advantage of this. Can you share with us a little bit about what you're doing in terms of rolling it out, getting it out to the public? I know there's some awareness that's going on, and talk about how you guys are really engaging in the awareness to make people more cognizant of these changes and also what's available to them right now.
Yeah, sure. And before we dive into there, I would love to share how you qualify for the Medicare savings program. So one is you already have to either have Medicare Part A or be eligible for Medicare Part A. And the second, it's, eligibility for the Medicare savings program is based on your gross monthly income that you bring in. And so right now the thresholds are if you're single and you make $2,300 a month or less in gross monthly income, you may most likely qualify. If you are married and you make $3,000 or less a month in gross monthly income, you most likely will qualify as well. So these thresholds have expanded significantly. Thousands of Bronx residents, seniors today, most likely qualify. So very, very important to get screened and qualified and enrolled in the MSP program. So what is Healthfirst doing? Great question, Daren. So thank you. We are, the largest dual plan in the region, 5th largest dual plan in the nation. We are very committed to the populations that we serve, especially our dual members. These are members that qualify for both Medicare and Medicaid, that are living in New York on a fixed and low income. So it's very, very important to us to help get the word out that this big change has happened this year. You may qualify now for the Medicare savings program, and you're going to get a lot of assistance helping to pay for your healthcare costs. What we've done at Healthfirst is we have set up a dedicated team. These are specialists that are trained in the Medicare savings program. They can help screen you and enroll you, hold your hand along the way. You can do it over the phone, or you can come in person to our Bronx CEO or all of our other CEOs across New York City. We have many different locations. Please come in, get screened, and see if you qualify. This team is brilliant. They're trained in collaboration with the Medicare Rights Center in New York, and they can really help to understand if you qualify and get you into the Medicare savings program. And, we are doing our part, getting out there in the community, making sure that our own Healthfirst members are aware that this change has happened and they can qualify. I'd love to give a shout out to our Bronx Healthfirst members. There are 6,000 Healthfirst Bronx members today that qualify for a Medicare savings program. So you are paying more than you need to. So if you are a Medicare beneficiary watching this today, or a child of a parent that has Medicare, really, really important to, see if you qualify for the Medicare savings program. And Healthfirst is here to help you do that. As I mentioned, we can help you over the phone or we can help you in person. So we're doing everything we can and working very closely with the Medicare Rights Center to get the word out and increase the MSP adoption in New York. A statistic I want to throw out, which is really important, is that only 40% of those that are eligible for the Medicare savings program in New York actually are enrolled in the MSP. So there's a huge opportunity for more seniors to get enrolled into this vital program. And we have a moral obligation here at Healthfirst. We are mission driven and committed to ensuring that seniors have access to affordable health care, and really important to get the word out on the Medicare savings program.
Well, Abby, it is some vital information that we want to make sure that our viewers get. And thank you for taking the time to really share, because I think it's important that we also know who's eligible, what these benefits mean, what these changes actually mean, and how a person could actually be involved. So thank you so much for sharing with us, and we're glad to have you here on Open.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me, Daren.
All righty. Well, for more information, we encourage you to go ahead and visit their website at healthfirst.org, and then also follow them on social media at HealthFirst NY. We do have more Open coming up. Don't go anywhere. We'll continue right after this.
Thank you so much.
Fostering a pet for a friend or neighbor can keep families together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Is it time yet?
It's time.
Come start time for dinner.
Oh, it's really big.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
Bro, you gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's a white people thing.
Escúchame, en esta casa los hombres no lloran.
You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
Thanks for hearing me out, bro. Appreciate it.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
¿Qué color? Perfecto, amigo.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, amigo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Thanks for hearing me out, bro.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Most hiring algorithms would scream me out.
Some bosses couldn't see me as a leader. I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
I've been running code as long as I've been able to reach a keyboard.
This is what I do. It's second nature for me, coordinating 100 details at once.
That's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
I sold them on my skills.
You gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
My magic is
Analytics and empathy. That's how I'm getting clients. You have to have the confidence in yourself to show up and defy the odds.
I am more than who I am on paper.
I never got a college degree. And today, I'm the CEO of my own company. People want to tell me I'm one in a million, when actually I'm one of millions. Stars are all around us. It's time for them to shine.
And welcome back. February is American Heart Month, and heart disease is very common and is the leading cause of death for men and women of all ethnic and racial backgrounds. The American Heart Association says nearly half of all Americans have high blood pressure. Our next guest is here to provide us with suggestions on how to take care of your heart. We're pleased to have sharing with us, giving us more information, the care coordinator at Health Plans from VNS Health, Constance Washington. And Constance, I gave that statistic. It was kind of unnerving when you think about most Americans are dealing with some form of heart disease, high blood pressure. And so I guess it is very important that we get this word out.
Absolutely, it is extremely important, and it is unfortunate, that heart disease is so very common, and it is the leading cause of death for men and women of all ethnic and racial backgrounds. So something we all must be quite vigilant about.
Yeah. When we talk about heart disease, obviously sometimes people are not familiar with it until they're diagnosed with it, or you hear about it within your family background. What is some of the causes of heart disease?
There's many causes of heart disease. Definitely high blood cholesterol levels. If you are a smoker, if if it runs in your family, these are some of the reasons.
And when you talk about these reasons, obviously, high blood pressure, cholesterol, family history, these are some of the things that are quite prevalent that we see in a lot of people's charts. But when it comes to heart disease itself, many people also have the false thought that that's the end. It doesn't get any better than this.
Mm-hmm.
We know that it does get better. So what are some of the things that we could do? Because we know it's not the be all the end all, right? We know we've been diagnosed with it, but there's still some things that we can do to create a more healthier heart.
Absolutely. There's quite a bit of things that we can do. Dieting is one of the things that we can do. Talk with our doctors, about healthy heart diet, meaning your salt intake. Finding out from your provider how much salt that you're able to take in, if any at all. Being vigilant when you do your shopping and reading labels on products, to see exactly what is the salt content, if it's healthy for you, trying to stay away from more of the processed foods like the canned goods or the processed meals in boxes or the soups that you'll find, that you just add water to. A lot of times it's better to eat more fresh products. Go, to the fresh areas, or the like the fresh fruits and the fresh vegetables, or even the frozen section. Fresh frozen vegetables over the canned products. It's much better.
We talk about eating better. That's one of the things that we can honestly do. Exercise, diet. We know we've heard that before. Those are ways that people can be able to really help sustain their heart. But if I'm a family member and I find that my loved one is in a place where they're not eating well, and I think that there's a possibility that they may have heart disease, what are some of the more prevalent symptoms that a person has that can say, hey, you need to go see a doctor?
Right. Great question. Some of the symptoms that you might find is, they may be complaining of feeling dizzy or lightheaded. A lot of times, when they're changing their positions, like when they're getting up to stand up, they might feel a little, as they say, woozy or lightheaded. Finding that they get short of breath when they're doing some general things like, just walking from one room to another in their home, also feeling like, they're having palpitations, like their heart is like pounding really hard, almost feeling like it's going to jump out of their chest. And of course, chest pain is another of the symptoms, that you want to look for. And know when that happens, you have to immediately get on the call with the doctor we'll start considering the emergency room depending on how the patient is feeling.
Can you give an ideas of what you're seeing come across your path when it comes to heart disease? Are you finding that more and more people are just being newly diagnosed, or are we finding that people are getting better in this area?
Well, unfortunately, I would love to say that it's getting better, but um, not so much. And a lot of times, a lot of people they're not even aware, that they have high blood pressure. So I would definitely, urge, family members, to get to the doctor, and have their blood pressure checked and make sure they're going for their routine screenings. Don't just go to the doctor when you're not feeling well. Go, as I said, on a routine basis, so they may pick these things up much earlier, and start putting interventions in earlier, where I find that people do respond better and quicker when things are addressed sooner than later.
For yourself, I mean, I know that you do a good job of coordinating care plans. That's a part of what you do. When somebody's in a situation with heart health, how do you go about coordinating a care plan for them?
Well, again, very, very good question. So, we talk a lot about some of the things that you had mentioned earlier. We talk a lot about dieting. I'm always going back to, making sure, again, a heart healthy diet, staying away from the salt, picking better foods, even with this foods that have a lot of cholesterol. No deep frying your foods. Make sure you're eating lean proteins over the more fatty ones. Taking off that skin from that chicken because it's really, really high in fat. Again, no deep frying foods, baking, broiling your foods is best. We talk about activity. Trying to encourage, exercise. As you're able to tolerate, whether it's you're a person who can go ride a bike or walk through a park, or whether it's just, walking around the block, or whether it's just walking in your hallway. And again, whether it's you just standing up in place from your chair a few times every day, or if you're not able to walk, elevating your arms up and down a few times every day, elevating your feet a few times every day. And of course, if you're prescribed medication, making sure that you're taking your medication as recommended by your doctor.
I love the fact that you talk about no fried food, no this, no that. You're like you're just gonna talk to the family member. They're just gonna be right with it. The people that I know that kind of have the same skin color as I do, try to take fried food off their plate and see how that goes. I mean, it's hard, but yet and still. Talk to me about compliance, because you do find that a lot of people are complying. It's a lifestyle change, and for so many people, it's a rough lifestyle change. But you being the person that you are, you do make the way a whole lot lighter,
Yeah, listen, in this modern day technology, there's so many options now for us. When you talk about fried food, and I get it. That's not the easiest thing, but now you have air fryers. Some are even built in the stoves nowadays, or you can get yourself a air fryer and you can use it at home. So that is much better. You're using a lot less grease, to prepare your foods. And as far as seasonings now, they have so many things on the market, from Mrs. Dash products that has a variety of herbs and fruits, mixed together to give so much great flavoring to your food. Or I even encourage, our members to do it themselves. You can, get herbs and spices and different marinades and where you're blending like peppers and onions, and just do it yourself and make it tasty, and you'll find that it's exciting. It's an exciting process if you really, really just give it a shot.
Yeah. Well, Constance, we got to leave it there. Thank you so much for being with us and sharing some great and helpful information. And yes, thank you for the work that you're doing.
Well, thank you so much again for having me on today.
No problem. Constance Washington, she is the care coordinator at Health Plans for VNS Health. And if you didn't learn, adobo does not go on everything. All right. Well, listen, for more information, this is what you do. Visit the website, vnshealth.org, or you can reach them via phone 1-866-986-7691. We'll be back with more shows. Stay with us. Hope it continues right after.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. and I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how sketch is vaping? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes, look at that. You didn't turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you have to get it trending. Right, Backpack Kid?
Let's do it.
First, invite your kid to do the vape talk. Let's try this. All right.
Why is he here?
Yeah, I gotta get it trending, honey.
Come on.
To the left. To the right. Let's go.
Oh, honey, can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
I see a lot of your friends vaping.
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
You can now watch MNN, Brick TV, QPTV, and SIC TV on BronxNet. Tune in to BX Omni, Channel 67 Optimum, 2133 Files during most Sunday evenings. We'll show you some amazing content from our friends at Manhattan Neighborhood Network, Brick TV in Brooklyn, Queens Public Television, and Staten Island Community Television. Every borough represented in the Boogie Down. Epic partnerships for the ages. And catch our new Next channel, produced in partnership with MNN, 24/7 on BronxNet Channel 952 Optimum and 2138 Fios.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
I'll see ya.
After a basketball game, a black teenage boy, Brandon, reads his texts in his family group chat. Auntie Flo, congrats on the big win. Mom, that's my baby. Brandon replies, thanks y'all. In a park, his sister Maya texts, where are we celebrating? Dad replies, home. Mom texts, I got dinner going. Auntie Flo replies, ooh, I can't wait. Then receives a FEMA flood watch text alert. She texts the family, anyone see that weather alert? We need a plan to stay safe, especially after last year. Ready has a list of resources at ready.gov/plan. In his workshop, Dad sends a photo of emergency supplies and texts, looks like we need flashlights and batteries. Leaving a store with a shopping bag, Brandon replies, I got us covered. Mom texts, I'll check in with Grandma and Papa. Maya texts, thanks Auntie, feeling good about this plan.
I got some batteries and 2 flashlights.
What's up, champ? I feel like you get taller every time I see you. Congratulations, Brandon.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
And welcome back to the show. Ballet Hispanico provides the physical home and cultural heart for Latinx dance in the nation. The company was founded by the late dance visionary Tina Ramirez, who developed the initial repertory through the support of her Black colleagues. We have here sharing with us one of Ballet Hispanico's very own, Gabrielle Sprauve. And Gabrielle, good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
And as we talk about Ballet Hispanico, a lot of people have come through the doors, right? And when you think about the contribution that Ballet Hispanico has made to the arts and also to the community, it's kind of unparalleled. So talk to me about your perception of Ballet Hispanico and what it means for the community.
Yeah, I mean, my perception of Ballet Hispanico is that we do so much good work. You know, our mission is about making sure that voices voices, people of color, they are heard, they're uplifted, that we're seen, that there's representation. And that's what we've been doing for more than 50 years. It's important for us not to only show it on stage, but to do it in the community. You know, we constantly go out into the community when we're on tour within the city of New York, like everywhere we are, we try to make sure that we're pushing our voices and we're pushing our mission, and people know that we are here. You know, people of color can achieve a lot. We have achieved a lot. We will continue to achieve a lot. And, you know, it's what we do. It's what we're about. And we're just constantly striving to be better and do better for our people, for our community.
You know, Gabrielle, for a long time, when you look out there and you see mainstream media and we see dancers, many times they don't reflect us. They don't look like us. You don't see people in communities of color really taking center stage on the mainstream. But I know one of the things that Ballet Hispanico has been good about is really promoting the great talent that's out there. Talk to me about that, because you're out there, you're pushing out, you're introducing yourself to a lot of people, and you're also creating a cultural awareness of sorts.
Yeah, you know, we are inclusive. That's something really important for us. It's not only about pushing the Latinx voice, but it's all of us in this community, this marginalized community. So we're inclusive. We make sure that we include everyone, all different types of people from all walks of life, and we're all here to celebrate us, you know. So it's really important that you see us on stage as well. One of my favorite things to do is we go and we do these we call them performances for young people, and there are many different schools that will come wherever we are, whatever state we're in. And I've had kids come up to me saying like, oh wow, I never thought that I could, you know, do something like that. And I see myself on stage. And I'll never forget the first time I saw a woman of color on a main stage, and I was watching her dance, and I was seeing her do something that my teachers at the time when I was young told me that I could never do because of my skin color. So it's so important that you see someone like me on stage, that curtain comes up, and when you see someone like me, like you see possibility, you see that I too can do that, I can do it well, and I can prove people wrong. And that part of it is actually, it's my favorite part, to prove people wrong.
There is also, in addition to the dancing and the arts, there's so much more that's connected with Ballet Hispanico and the work that you guys do. I know that there's an intersection even with social justice and really having conversations about social justice and social justice awareness. So for our viewers, make them a little bit more aware about how all this intertwines in some of the things that you do.
So it intertwines in not just, you know, our conversations that we have. We always try and do talkbacks after the show, not just to talk about the pieces itself, but what they mean, why we choose to perform certain pieces, why we choose to talk about certain people in history through our works and through our movement. It's through that. It's also through, you know, we have really important dialogues that we do on the side. Like I put together this dialogue to talk about colorism in our own community, in the Latinx community, making sure that we're pushing conversations, not just about the movement and the work, but conversations surrounding us that affect the movement and the work. So we try and do as much of that as possible. And I think we not only achieve it, but we push boundaries. You know, conversations like that are not easy to have. It's not easy to, you know, call out your own community and say, no, we too can be better within ourselves. Because in order to be better on the outside and to go out into other communities, we have to understand ourselves. We have to understand our history and the flaws that we also have in our history. We have to talk about colorism. We have to talk about objectification. We have to talk about exoticism. It's really important to have those conversations because it connects with just us, and then it connects with the movement that we bring and all the pieces that we go out into the community and show. And then when people have questions, we have not only answers, but we have experience. We have information behind that. We have history that's really important to talk about.
In addition to that, I want to talk about the fact of Ballet Hispanico's role in the community, because when we talk about arts and education, many times in school budgets, we don't see the arts as prevalent, right? We see art budgets being cut, but to have an opportunity to exposure gift to be able to talk about the social ills in society and to really be able to bring things home in a manner that sometimes is unconventional, but very necessary because it leads to so many people with careers in the arts and pathways. So I just love you just expound a little bit on that.
Yeah, so we, like I said, we not only go out into the community to try and bring the art to the schools in some way because these the budgets are being cut and things like that. But we also have a school of dance here within the organization. We have 3 parts of our organization: our community arts partnership, the dance company, which I am part of, and then we also have our school of dance. So we offer scholarships, we offer free tuition. We try and work with kids in our community to make sure that if they can't afford it, like, you can still come here. We will make it work. It's really important that the arts aren't taken away. Those opportunities aren't taken away just because of financial means or anything like that. Transportation. It's really important for us that we find a way for the kids to be able to come here. And then if they can't come here, we do our best to try and go to them as much as possible, as often as we can, so that they can, even if it's just a little taste that they can get, at least it's something, because that little moment, it can do a lot in a child's life. That spark, you never know that what you're doing just in our performance that you're bringing to their school. So on top of us going out into the community to bring that to students, we also have a school of dance here, and we try and do anything we can to make sure that it's accessible to everyone.
Gabrielle Sprauve, our guest, and we want to thank you so much for being with us here on Open. Congratulations. I know you're in your 4th season at Ballet Hispanico. Continued success and continue bringing the arts home to not just the Bronx, but all across New York City, the state, and really the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All righty. Well, if you want more information, we encourage you to go visit them on the website at ballethispanico.org, and then also on social media at Ballet Hispanico. We got more show. We encourage you don't go anywhere. Open continues right after this.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, we love you always.
Everything I do.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Can you see anything different as a pill?
No.
You don't know?
Fentanyl is being mixed into everything now. There's only one thing that will save somebody's life. That is naloxone nasal spray.
Fentanyl, it's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
Why would drug dealers put a lethal dose of fentanyl in drugs if they know it's so harmful?
Really just all about the money.
I just didn't realize that one pill could change your whole life.
More kids should know.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
Hey, boss. Okay?
I said I'm fine.
Me the bed, see you in the morning. With the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it. And we lost it.
You can talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for me.
Man, it's lonely. Like, going through life lonely.
There is the therapeutic aspect of music, just expressing how you feel. I'm going to talk to Howie about his feelings, make it into a song.
Even though we didn't grow up together, he's my favorite brother.
Hey, sis.
I'm the baby of the family, and he's the gentle giant.
What you know about Port Georgia?
Man, please, that's a classic.
You know when they say people are a rare breed? Yeah, he's that.
Sorry, I'll be back in a few hours.
Don't worry, Shug. You know I'm for you.
I know.
Go get the football.
That was my favorite memory. He was always for ya. This is a true story of me, Bridget Floyd, and this guy, George Perry Floyd Jr., my big brother.
And welcome back to the show. As the eggflation issue continues, there are many people who are left with steep prices and limited options. The question is, where can shoppers find consistency with both price and the quantity of eggs? FreshDirect is actually leading as an online grocer and is committed to delivering the highest quality, freshest food. And we've got joining us the Senior Associate Category Manager of Dairy at FreshDirect. We've got Lone Heilner with us. And Lone, thank you so much for being with us.
Hi, Daren. Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me on today.
Yeah, well, Lone, I mean, we're really in some tough times. And I think for most people, it's it's a struggle. And for New Yorkers, the struggle is real. First of all, coming out of COVID, people still have job insecurity. There's food insecurity. Now we're dealing with this whole issue when it comes to the price of eggs and what we call eggflation. So talk to us a little bit about your experience and what you're seeing in FreshDirect when it comes to eggs, because it's something that a lot of grocers and people are dealing with.
Definitely. And I totally hear the customers out there. So what's really happened in the industry is the outbreaks of avian flu recently have knocked out about 12% of poultry flocks in the US. And that's really driven to a shortage of eggs on the shelves. So customers here in New York are probably familiar with seeing some of their local stores starting to restrict the number of egg cartons you can buy at a time. But luckily at FreshDirect, really, and thanks to our close partnerships with our egg suppliers, we've managed to create a really stable inventory supply of eggs and keep prices where they are right now, when many of them in the market are starting to increase.
Yeah, I know for yourself, you do have some also alternative egg products that are out there. Are you finding more people using alternative egg products?
Yeah, we are. So really just in response to hearing our customers' requests for more vegan-friendly alternatives across the entire store, we do have a great plant-based scramble bottled by a brand called Just, not to be confused with our Just FreshDirect brand. But it is made from a mung bean protein, 0 cholesterol, and it really does whip up exactly like a scrambled egg. It's quite remarkable.
And so when we talk about eggs, we know that we're hearing a lot of people talk about the prices, and we're talking about how eggflation is really hitting the pockets of so many people. But you talked about something very crucial before, which is really that relationship with farmers and farm producers, right? So how has that relationship been bolstered during a time like this, and what's the conversation been like?
Definitely. So one of our most long-time partnerships is with a farm called Healthfirst Farm. We've actually been working with them for the last 18 years, so since 2005. And currently, right now on our platform, they are the most affordable dozen eggs that you can find. So we're selling a dozen large eggs, Healthfirst brand, for $3.79. In addition, we do have an organic egg in our Just FreshDirect label. And so that dozen egg is going for $4.99. And, I think it's great to be able to find an organic cage-free egg that's under $5.
Yeah. And so for people who want to get connected and really take a look and see what the available options are, is there a place on the website they can go and see? Is it spelled out, or do they just have to be able to navigate on their own?
Yeah, so you can go straight to freshdirect.com. The easiest way our customer shop is they just search that search bar just for eggs. But you'll also find it underneath the dairy section. So you can just go to dairy eggs. We'll break it down for you, whether you're looking for shell eggs, cooked eggs, or we even now are offering a liquid whole egg from one of our partners, Vital Farms. So pretty common out there to find egg whites in a liquid form, but they are actually doing the hard work for us, cracking the eggs, and they have it packaged into a carton with the whole eggs, including the yolks, and you can use as little or as much as you want at a time.
Yeah. So honestly, how much are you hearing people's complaints or people really writing in? What are you hearing on your end from the consumer by way of this? Because it's something that's really affecting everybody.
Definitely. So it's really because we are an online grocer, we have so much data at our fingertips. So it's really where we're seeing the sales shift is what we're hearing from our customers. So definitely over the last couple of months with all of this recent press in the media, especially around the price of eggs, I think customers are really hyper aware of how expensive eggs are in the market right now. So we are seeing our customers really shift into more of those affordable price points. And really, you don't need to spend so much on those basics that you're looking to stock your fridge with.
Yeah. And so for you as a company, obviously a lot of conversation, a lot of preparation and planning goes in. What does it feel like for you to be able to provide an alternative? Because so many people don't have that alternative. It is what it is, right? But FreshDirect is one of those places where you're actually able to provide an alternative and actually help your consumers out.
It's really great. And I think it's one of the things that really differentiates us as FreshDirect as a grocer in the tri-state area. And it's really, as I said, largely in part to these great partnerships that we have with our suppliers. We can really work with them, get ahead of any issues we're seeing in the market. So I've been really reaching out to our suppliers months in advance, talking about this egg situation, if there's going to be any upcoming shortages that we can expect. But really, for the most part, they've been doing such a good job working with us, going out to some additional farms to see if they can partner with them, just to make sure we keep that steady supply.
Yeah, and you talk about suppliers, and I think you kind of led into that in the last answer that you gave. But that relationship, what's it been like? Have they been very forthcoming with anticipated challenges?
Definitely, and that's something we always communicate to our suppliers is just that honesty. Even if it's bad news, we can work together and come up with a solution together. And so that's something that's been really great with our local suppliers.
Yeah. Well, I know that it's been a lot on your plate, but literally thank you for the work that you're doing in terms of getting us this information, because it is a challenge and so many people do live on eggs. It's a staple in the household for breakfast. And when that price point was challenged, there's so many people who are saying, listen, I wonder if I'm ever going to be able to do what I normally do. But thank you for the work that you're doing in terms of keeping the public well informed and also providing some viable options. So great to have you.
Thank you very much.
Lone Heilner with some great information from FreshDirect, making sure that we're all taking care of Lone. Thank you so much. And listen, if you want more information, we encourage you to visit the website at freshdirect.com and then also on social media at FreshDirect. Well, we come to the end of our show today. I want to thank all of our guests for joining us, and most of all, you, the viewer, for tuning in. And if you missed any part of today's show, of course, you catch the Recablecast on Bronx's Channel 67, Verizon Fios, that'd be Channel 2133, or anytime on the web at bronxnet.org. We thank you for being with us. And listen, if you want a brand new episode of Open, come back on Friday. My girl, Rena Valentine, brings you the best in arts and entertainment. Until next time we meet, I'm Daren Jaime saying take care. God bless, and most of all, keep this channel wide open.